screen, it says identify the area of the figure. Do you see that?
Yes.
So I'm going to do this. I'm going to draw a red line here. Okay. And this thing down below, what is this shape called that I'm tracing out in a red line?
Rectangle.
Rectangle. What's the area of a rectangle?
It's base times width.
Right, base times height, length times width, whatever you want. It's 2 and 12. 2 times 12 is 24 centimeters squared. Okay, now what is this shape that I'm drawing here?
That is a trapezoid.
So the area of a trapezoid is 1/2 base 1 plus base 2. Now the bases have to be parallel. Okay. Now the thing that's tricky here is 6 is actually the whole length.
Oh.
And then this is 2 down here. So what's the actual length here? This base?
That's 4.
4. Okay. But we don't actually want that. Oops. We want this one here. So this whole thing is 12. This is 7. So this makes
4. Oh, 5.
5. And then times the height. So what is your base 1? It's 5 or 2?
And 2, yeah.
And your height is, actually we do need the height. The height is.
Oh, the height is 4.
Yeah. So go ahead and calculate that. And then we're going to add it to that number and give me your final answer, please.
Okay. So that's 38 centimeters squared.
And that's your total answer?
Yep.
Cool. Now, that problem went really well. And you know, when you do one really well, you get one just like it. Okay.
Splendid.
Yes, that's a good response here. So again, you're going to just cut this up into pieces. Like this is a trapezoid. And then the red is a rectangle. So I want you to try figuring this one out on your own. It's exactly like the other one, almost identical. It's just different numbers.
I see.
So give that a try and let me know if you get stuck. How are you doing on this one?
I'm almost done. So I get 184 centimeters squared. That's my final total. That's my total.
Perfect. Let's go with it. Okay. So let's do another one here. This next one says to identify the area again. They do say to start rounding to the nearest tenth. So you may need your calculator on this one. Now, when you look at this, do you see that it's a rectangle? Subtracting from the rectangle is a semicircle or half circle. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. So what is the area of the rectangle?
So the area of rectangle is length times width.
What's its length?
So the length is 22.
And the width and the height or the width
is 10. So perfect. That's 220 centimeters squared.
Centimeters squared. The circle, the area of a circle is pi r squared, but since we want half a circle, we have to cut this number in half. So the radius is half the diameter. Remember we talked about that?
Yeah. So
what's so this is 7, this is 7, the whole
that's
thing's
5. So the half circle would be 5. Well,
hang on a second here. I'm not sure you follow. This whole length is 22.
Yes.
That's 7 and that's 7. So what's this distance across here?
That's
so the whole way across is 22.
Yes, so that's 7, and then 7. So that's 14. And you add 6, 7. 7.
What is this black distance right here?
The which I'm not 7 or.
Well, you're just guessing. So this is 7, this is 7, and the whole thing is 22.
Yes. So then am I looking? I'm confused.
This number isn't important. What number, when added to 7 and 7, gets you to 22?
Yeah, it's 22. So 14, 6. Let me just add. Eight, sorry.
Okay, so this is 8. The diameter is 8. What is the radius?
The radius 4.
Is 4. So see how when you just give me numbers that don't make any sense, I'm not going to just go ahead and say, okay, you've got to try to work this out on your own. What is 4 squared?
4 squared is 16.
Divided by 2?
That's 8.
8 pi. So here's what you got to do. You got to go to a calculator and type in 220 plus 8 pi. And it rounded to the nearest tenth, please.
Okay. I get 245.1.
Okay, now I made a huge mistake here. We're actually subtracting this area. So it should be minus because we're taking it away. So do 220.
Hello? Hello? You have muted yourself, so I can't hear you if you're trying to say something.
Hey, Christopher, looks like we got a disconnect with a Zoom issue. So have you figured out what 220 minus 8 pi is?
Yes, so my final answer is 194.9.
Okay, I agree. All right, so now we're going to look at another figure and we're going to do essentially the same thing. So sometimes you're adding, sometimes you're subtracting. This one has 3 regions. Okay, so this one has a region 1, the region 2 or an area 2, and then an area 3. What is region 1? What shape would you describe that as?
Rectangle.
So that's 3 times 21. What is region 2?
Region 2 is 5, is a square,
So
and that's
5 times 5. Good.
Oh.
And then region 3 is a semicircle. So it's pi r squared divided by 2. What is the diameter?
Diameter is 3.
So we need the radius. What's the radius?
1.5.
So it's pi times 1.5 squared over 2. So again, in your Desmos, you can enter all 3 of these expressions in there and round to the nearest tenth.
Okay.
So I'll stand by and wait for the correct answer.
Okay, so my final answer is 91.5.
All right, that's great. Okay, you ready to do another?
Yes.
Okay. We are moving with good speed through this. I think did it help to see that it's just a couple of regions that you're either adding or subtracting?
Yeah.
Great. Now this one, there's the triangle, the big triangle on the outside. And then you're going to subtract, and we got to remember to do that. You're going to subtract the square on the inside.
Okay.
Okay, so give me the formula for the area of a triangle. It is?
The area of a triangle is 1/2 times base times height.
Perfect. Okay, so the area is 1/2. The base is, so they actually don't give you the base. This is actually kind of a tricky thing here. So here's the triangle on the right, that's kind of this half here. They're telling you that this is 15.
Yes.
And this is 8. This is 8. But this is 4. So this whole thing is 12 because it's 8 plus 4.
Yes.
Okay. Now remember how we're doing this 3, 4, 5 triangle from the other day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So 4 times what number gets you to 12, and 5 times. So what should this side be?
That should be 9.
Perfect. So your base is actually, well, 9 is just 1/2 of it. So it's 9 plus 9 is your base, because you got,
that's 18. That's half of that. That's
and your height is 12. Yeah.
So,
and then we're going to subtract out the area of the square, which is 16.
Okay. So 18 divide that 9 times 12, 96 minus that, that's 80. Final answer is 80.
Okay, let me just check here. That sounds right. Nope, that is not correct. Did you subtract?
Really? It's 18. So I did, so 9 plus 9, and then I take half of that. That's 9.
Okay, times 12.
That's 96.
No.
Oh wait, 9 times 12. Oh, that's 108. What do I think of that? So 108 minus 16. So that's 98, and then you have 6. That's 92.
Great.
That's my final answer.
That's it. Yeah. Okay. Great. So one last problem. Your answer actually wasn't in the answer space, so it worked out that we didn't get something weird wrong. So there's 3 regions here. Okay. You've got this rectangle. What's the area of the rectangle?
That's length times width.
So give me the numbers.
So my length is 8, my width is 5, so that's 40.
Okay, and now the top one up here, this top semicircle, is pi r squared divided by 2. This is the diameter. So what is the radius?
4.
Radius, so it's pi 4 squared over 2, 8 pi. Now we got to do it again. What's the other one? This is 4. So what is this length here?
That's also 4.
Okay, now that's the diameter. So what's the radius?
That's 2.
That's this time it's 2. So it's pi 2 squared over 2. It's 2 pi. So we're adding these together. 40 plus 8 pi plus 2 pi. And we're going to round to the nearest 10th, please.
I get 71.4 as my final answer.
All right. Sorry, I guess scrolled away. Yep, looks good. Okay, so we're going to do one more section. We'll see how this goes. I believe this one uses the coordinate plane, so it's got like sort of grid points on it, but maybe it won't be that difficult. So we'll see. All right. Trying to find a problem where we can just do it without anything weird, but boy, these are all, oh boy. Okay. Well, there is no simple way to do any of these. So, so we just got to do it. All right, so you don't have to read this text. We want to find the area of the shape. Okay. So the area of the shape, there's three things. There's the semicircle.
Mhm.
Okay, so the area of the semicircle is pi r squared divided by 2. What is the radius?
The radius is 10.
That's right. So it's pi 10 squared over 2. 10 squared is 100 divided
50.
by 2. So 50 pi. Great. What's the next one? This sort of rectangle. What's the area of it? It's base times height or length times width. So
Yeah.
that's 20 times
22.
So that's
So
440.
440.
We're adding these. And then the trapezoid over here, it's 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times height. Good. So here's base 1 because it's got to be parallel to base 2. What is base 1?
So base 1 is 3.
No.
Well, wait, sorry. That I was looking at so that's 20.
20. What's base 2?
12.
12 because they're parallel. And then the height is 3.
Yes.
Okay, so that you get this number, whatever that is. Okay, 32, cut it in half. That's 16 times 3, you get 48. And you want to add up these three numbers.
Okay. I get 645.1. Are we rounding to the nearest tenth?
Sure. So this is feet squared.
Okay.
Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. Now this is an application problem. And if you go in and if you actually read it, it says for every square foot, you need 20 BTUs. Okay. So here's what that means. For every 1 foot squared, you need 20 BTUs. So do you see how these cancel?
Yeah.
You have to take that number you just found and multiply it by 20. Now in your Desmos, maybe in your Desmos, you had something like 50 pi plus 440 plus 48.
Yes.
You can put a parentheses and then just put a 20 on the outside.
Oh.
So give me that number whenever you have it.
I get 12,901.6.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So now we're going to do one that's really similar here. So we're going to do it in steps again. The first step, and you know, you would want to read this, but we're just going to work through it by first finding the area. You need to find the area of a trapezoid.
So it's 1/2.
Wait, I'm sorry.
I can't really see the bottom part. Are those so
I'm sorry. Yeah, let me actually look at this question a little bit more closely. All right, this is a little odd. They actually just want the areas of the two triangles.
Oh, so 1/2.
But notice, like, if you take this one on the left and bring it over here,
yeah,
you get a rectangle. So it's just 9 times 11.75. And that's some number of feet squared. Like, you're going to get a number there. And they're saying for every 1 foot squared, you have to spend $4.25.
I see where this is going.
So you get that number and then you multiply it by $4.25.
Okay, I get 449.4.
Now this is money, so how many decimal places should you go to?
Oh, 2. So 449.43.
What's the number after the 3?
Oh, 7. So that would be 0.44.
Good. So you just have to keep remembering these things.
Yes.
All right, very good. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is we're going to find the area of this. So these are windows, which is really weird. We'll first just find the area of that rectangle.
Okay.
Which is 9 times
25.
Okay, so whatever that is, 225. We're going to subtract, though, the hexagon. So do you remember what was the formula yesterday that we used for the area of a regular polygon?
1/2 A times P, which what is that?
But then I gave you a reduced
Oh
form.
yeah,
So
A
so
equals S
so
over 2 tangent, or
wasn't it n times s for the perimeter, number of sides times the side length, and then
see.
s over.
Maybe, I don't think I got that one. Let me just write that down then. So
Well, the perimeter is the number of sides times the side length. Do you agree with that?
yes.
Okay. And then the apothem was this. It was s. I think it was a 2, but you may want to double check that.
Yeah, 2 tangent or
180 over the number of sides.
Yeah, I forgot to add in the 1/2 parentheses numbers times sides.
Okay.
So okay,
great.
got that.
Okay, so now you have all these values. The number of sides is 6 because these are hexagons. The side length is 2. And this formula gives the area of one hexagon. So we have 2 of them. So you're going to do 1/2 6 times 2. And then I think I told you to put this in parentheses. 2 tangent 180 over 6. And that'll give you the area of one of them, but you want 2 of them, right?
Yeah.
So you could multiply it by 2, but there's even more, right? You got to subtract it from this number 225.
Yeah, so
there's a lot here. So if you go to your Desmos, you really want to do this 225 minus this times 2. And then there's one last step.
wow. Okay, so
you have a final answer, because the last thing I do is you actually need to multiply it by 1.75.
Oh, so let me get that in then.
Okay, so you can always use your cursor to highlight and then add a parenthesis.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I have my final answer. So it is 16,404.3.
That's impossible, Christopher, because it's 225 minus something. And it's 1.75. Maybe that's.
I see where I forgot to put in the subtraction. Okay, so it's 357.4.
But it's money, so what's the next decimal place?
0.37, but then there's a 6, so it's 0.38.
Okay. All right, so there's actually only one more of these sort of weird things, and then the last 2 are estimation. Okay,
all right.
So this one is an area of a trapezoid. So we know the area of a trapezoid is 1/2 base 1. So the bases have to be parallel. So 4 plus 6, and then the height is 3. And then we're going to subtract the area of this thing, whatever that is, which is 0.4 times 0.75. Okay, so but then you have to take your final answer here because it says to multiply it by 4.
Yes.
So do that for me, please.
Okay, I get 58.8.
58.8, but it's 0.80. Okay, good. Okay, so next question. And we're gonna do some estimation here to do this.
All right.
So they want you to find the area of this thing. So like what I see is a rectangle here.
Yes, I see 2 half circles.
And 2 half circles. Yeah, so let's just go with that. So this first rectangle is 3 times 4. Do you see that?
That's 12.
Which is 12. This one up here is pi r squared divided by 2. What's the radius?
The radius is 2.
So 2 squared over 2, so about 2 pi. And then this one, what's, it's rough. Again, it's an estimation. What's the, looks like it's about
1.5 is my radius.
So that is pi times 1.5 squared over 2. So whatever that is, okay, so you got to add these 3 things up. Okay, so do that for me, and then you're gonna make a final calculation. It's 12 plus 2 pi plus pi over 2 times 1.5 squared. So get that number for me, and then I'm gonna tell you what to multiply on the outside.
Wait, is the pi supposed to be next to the 1.5 or?
Yeah, you're multiplying.
Okay, so never mind. Okay, so I got everything in there.
Okay, now each square isn't 1. It's actually 1.5 times 1.5. So on the outside, you put 1.5 squared. And I'll explain why another time, but let's just go with that for the calculation.
Okay, I get 49.1.
Perfect. Okay, so one more like that, and then we're completely done. This one's a little bit well, it's this one's gonna be a little bit more about moving regions around. So let me see if I can get this in here. All right, so here's what I mean by that.
Yeah, that one looks a little more awkward.
So for sure, we've got kind of like this amount of room right here.
Yeah.
Okay, and then if you take this one up top with this one on the bottom, we can do that. So then that's gone. And then this one on the right, we can just call it a triangle. So you got this big rectangle here. The area is 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus, this is a triangle here. Its base is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the height is, we'll call it 2. So this is 18 plus 5, we'll say about 23.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's kind of how you estimate stuff in real life when you do it here. All right, so let me check on this. All right, excellent. So, okay, that does take us to the end of our lesson for today.
Okay.
Thanks so much for scheduling, and I'll see you next time.
All right.
Have a great day. Bye now.
Thank you. Bye.